Hey guys, what's up? It's Umbruhh here, and today I'm going to be talking about future patches for Final Fantasy XIV and my predictions for them. Now, I just want to start this video first off saying that this video contains spoilers for Final Fantasy XIV Stormblood story, so if you haven't completed it yet, I would suggest clicking off this video because we're going straight into the end of Heavensward and discussing about how it could possibly impact the patch storylines of Stormblood. Now, I'm going to be talking about what they could add story-wise and raid-wise. Now, first off, I'm going to be talking about raid-wise. So, I presume that they'll follow a similar technique to what they did in A Realm Reborn and Heavensward, where in 3.1 we're going to get the 24-man Alliance raid, and then in 4.2 we're going to be receiving the second part of the Omega raids, like the second kind of act, as you will. So we'll receive 4 parts of it during the patch drop, and then 2 weeks later we'll be receiving the Savage parts. In 4.3 we will probably be receiving the sequel to the 24-man Alliance raids. And in 3.4, same thing, the final part of the Omega raids, and in 3.5, the final part of the 24-man Alliance raid. So, next off, I want to talk about story-wise for the patches. Now, at the end of Stormblood, both Othard and Alamigo are free from Garlean control. Like, Xenos Galvus has been killed. He killed himself by slitting his own throat with his own sword, so he's dead. And I guess the first part of 4.1, I know I've been saying 3.1, I'm still used to Heavensward. But anyways, in 4.1, I presume what we'll be doing, we probably won't have much action. In 4.1 storyline, we'll probably be just picking up the pieces and re-establishing Alamigo as a part of the Eorzean Alliance. Kind of like picking up the pieces after the war between Alamigo and Garlemald. I guess also clearing out any remaining Imperial forces and cleaning up the cities, and I guess we'll get to see more about what happens to Lise after she becomes more integrated in Alamigan society, because at the end of Stormblood's storyline, she decides to leave the Scions of the Seventh Dawn to focus on Alamigo. So that's probably what's going to be happening for the first part of it. And since that Fordola, the secondary antagonist of the Alamigo storyline, I presume she'll play a huge part of it as well, because she was left alive, like, after the war. Like, we saw her at the ending being escorted away by one of the Alamigan soldiers. So we'll probably get to see more about her, maybe her backstory, and maybe she could be redeemed? But we don't know so far. And then in 3.2, I presume that we will go back to Othard and maybe learn of what happened to Gosetsu and Yotsuyu, because at least what we saw also at the end of Stormblood is Gosetsu and Yotsuyu stranded on an island where Gosetsu was fishing while Yotsuyu was passed out, both of which were presumed to be dead after the assault on Doma Castle. So I assume that they'll play a huge part in the storyline. Maybe Gosetsu will find his way back to us. And I presume in this part of the storyline, I also think that in this patch we'll get to go to Yangsha and see how Lord Hien is doing with having Doma freed, seeing how Doman citizens are still getting used to this sort of freedom that they haven't had for 25 years prior to the storyline. Some will probably be scared that Garlemald is gonna come back even harder on them. So maybe some of them aren't used to their newfound freedoms, and maybe I think in this patch will help Lord Hien control it. So that's what I think is going to happen in the storyline of 3.2. Now in no, 4.2, I'm sorry, I keep getting it mixed up. Now in 4.3, I think that we're going to go to the Azim Steppes again and see how the Mole tribe is handling things there. I also think that there's going to be a little rebellion in the Azim Steppes because, as we know in the Azim Steppes storyline, the Warrior of Light and Scions and Lord Hien, Gosetsu, Yugiri, they helped the Mole tribe of the Zayla win the Nadam so that they now control the lands and all the tribes. Although they didn't particularly want the Dawn Throne, they just decided to stay where they are, leaving the Oranir tribe the Dawn Throne. Now, you see, I don't think that Magnai, the leader of the Oranir tribe, is just gonna sit by idly and let this happen. Like, as we know, Magnai is very arrogant and controlling, so maybe he's not used to not having power, so maybe he tries to usurp the Mole tribe, and it causes a little bit of strife in the Azim Steppes. I'm not sure how the Dotharal are going to handle this also. I'm assuming they're fine, but they are a pretty violent tribe. But, so I think that in this quest line, we're just gonna deal with fighting Magnai and the Oranir tribes and keep them from usurping the Mole tribe's rule over the Azim Steppes. Maybe we'll have a trial where we fight Magnai. That would be pretty cool. But that's what I think what we'll be doing so far. And now in 4.4, this is where we start to bridge off into the next expansion, because in 2.4 and 3.4, we kind of started to drift into the expansions too. So perhaps we'll be seeing the quest givers or like the important NPCs for the next expansion. As I said in a previous video, I presume that we'll be going to Garlemald next expansion, because they just controlled 2 of Garlemald's primary lands that they've been holding for 25 years. I don't think they're just gonna sit lightly and let this happen, so I think that the Eorzean Alliance and Ulthard's forces are gonna be like, yeah, you know what? Okay, we need to take the fight to them now. So I presume that the Eorzean Alliance, so like Ul'dah, Limsa, Gridania, Ishgard, Alamigo, and even the people in Ulthard like Lord Hien and Doma, they'll be working together to figure out a way to go to Garlemald so that they can take the fight to them. And in 4.5, it'll probably be the end of that. So like, they're ready to go and then something bad happens, like the Garleans ambush them and kill a lot of major characters. I honestly think that an important character is gonna die in this patch. Like, in 2.5, Minfilia died, Ida, Papalimo, Thancred, and Y'shtola almost died. So, I think somebody is going to kick the bucket this patch, and if I can think of somebody, I would think maybe either Lys and or Aymeric, because both in their respective expansions, we helped them re-establish their homelands. With Aymeric, we helped reform Ishgard, and with Lys, we helped take back Alamigo, so they were close allies throughout the Warrior of Light's journey, and so I think that they would kill off either those 2 important characters to strengthen the Warrior of Light's resolve to take the fight to Garlemald. Now, that's all of my predictions I have so far. Anyways, guys, I hope you all like this video. If you want to see more Final Fantasy XIV content, be sure to check out my channel and subscribe. Like this video if you liked it, and I will see you guys later. You guys are awesome. Umbruhh out.